Hello, it is I, Chastity White Rose, and today I'm recording a video about a very special topic. So, a few years ago, I had uploaded a video to YouTube that I had recorded from my apartment I had in Independence at the time, The Life of a Floral Clerk, or something like that. And I talked about all the duties that I do working as a floral clerk for Hy-Vee. Now, that was a long time ago. I don't have that job anymore. And now I'm an overnight stalker at Walmart. And I thought, well, I got a lot of comments on that video. People were saying it was extremely helpful. The fact that I recorded a video and I talked about all the things that I do as a floral clerk, that gave them an idea about whether they wanted to do that job or not. And I thought, since I proved to be so helpful, with my informational video about being a floral clerk, what if I did the same thing for my current job as an overnight stalker at Walmart? So I need to tell you, first of all, you need lots of caffeine. You need lots of caffeine, okay? Because I work all night long. They call it the overnight shift, or they're stalking 3, sometimes cap 3. They have a lot of different terms for it. But I work from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. usually. Although today I'm actually going to work earlier. And here's the thing. We stock many pallets of freight overnight. There's the dairy department, there's the grocery department, there's the frozen department, there's home lines, which has everything from bedding to candles to pots and pans and, everything that you need in your home for your kitchen or your bedroom, whatever. Home lines has everything. And then there's front wall. Front wall is the pharmacy area. You've got your vitamins, you've got your pads, tampons, you've got your soap, your shampoo, conditioner, you've got your dental stuff, your toothbrushes, dental floss, all that stuff. Then there's hardware, there's hardware, fixing things at home. You got your hammers, your nails, your screwdrivers, you got everything over there. There's automotive, which has all sorts of stuff about cars. There's sporting goods for people who play sports. There's the toys department. There's the electronics department. Now, we don't usually stock the electronics department overnight. I think they do that during the day because they know what they're doing. But anyway, the point is, as an overnight stalker, I never know for sure where I'm going to be placed. But you see, I am in frozen a lot of the time. And the reason that they put me in frozen is because I'm actually pretty good at it. The frozen department is one of the most difficult departments in the store, but I happen to be the champion of punching open vegetable boxes, frozen vegetable boxes. I love punching open those frozen broccoli boxes in just a few seconds and throwing them on the shelf inside the frozen door. I like that department, and I like people I work with. Now, that's all good, and I know it sounds good, right? And if you like walking around, and you like lifting heavy boxes, and you like stocking things, and always having a surprise of where you're going to be, then you might like to be an overnight stalker. But there are some things you should know before you apply to be an overnight stalker at Walmart. You need to know that a lot of the times, in fact, most of the time, these pallets are not ready for you to just take them off the pallet and stock them. No. First, you have to sort them according to what department they go in. So, for example, in frozen, we have to sort. There's deli department, meat department, seafood department, bakery department, and we're supposed to keep them all separate and downstack them, separate them onto separate pallets so that the morning people can just stock them straight from the pallet. So we make their job easy, so they just get to stock it during the daytime, but we have to sort it. So here's what happens though. It can take us a few hours just to sort the stuff before we begin stocking it. And so here's what happens is we're told that, oh, it's only 3 or 4 hours of work. In reality, though, whatever they tell you, it really takes 2 more hours additionally of whatever the hours are you're expected to get it done in, because you have to sort everything. So here's what happens is you have to understand that you're put under a lot of pressure, and it's scary because the managers locally and the corporate people of Walmart, they don't know what the work is really like because they don't do it. They don't know what we have to do. They don't realize that we are working very hard, but we never get things done in the allotted time. The system is based on a long time ago when humans assembled the pallets and sorted them according to their departments. They replaced human workers with robots, and now they just stack it however robots do, and things are not ready to be stocked because they are delivered to Walmart on trucks, and they are not sorted by department. You have pets, baby department, infants, and then front wall stuff all on the same pallet. And sometimes there's paper on there too. And grocery pallets, could still have stuff that's in automotive. Like, it's not sorted. They just literally send all the mixed departments onto pallets. They ship them to Walmart, and we have to sort them before we can begin stocking them. So here's what it comes down to. No matter how hard you work, you can't hit your times. So here's what happens is because people can't meet these times because those times do not include all the downstacking and fixing the messes left behind by the previous shifts and customers who lazily put things in the wrong spot, then we don't make our times. So it looks to the higher up managers who are sleeping during the night while we're working hard. It looks to them like we're not doing much. Like, oh, you have this many hours of work. Why did it take you twice as long? So they think we're all lazy. And so here's what happens here is people get fired who have done their very best and they did better than what most people could, but they get fired, or they can't take constantly being criticized and falsely accused of things, so they quit or transfer to a different Walmart, which is slightly different. I've heard the other Walmarts are better, and right now things are just kind of rough, and I am at a place right now where I don't know how much longer I'm going to be working at Walmart. I'm not going to quit, let me tell you. But the possibility of them thinking I'm not doing my job when I in fact am, and firing me unfairly is a real possibility. And let's be honest, if they were looking to downsize, they would of course get rid of me first because I'm transgender. We need to talk about how the Walmart in Florida fired a woman because a customer accused her of being transgender. And then they fired the employee rather than the customer. First of all, she was not transgender, and even if she was, being transgender isn't a crime. But it's a case of discrimination, and all you need is one bad local manager in your store with a discriminatory attitude. They may want to fire the disabled. They may want to fire the elderly. They may want to fire the black people or the Jews or the transgenders or the gays. All they need is a prejudice against a certain group of people. Find those people and find a reason to fire them that doesn't sound like discrimination so they can get away with it. We know how it is. We know how it is. People discriminate, and they get away with it because they hide it behind false reasons. So I just want to tell you that being an overnight stalker can be a fun job. It can be. And to tell you the truth, I'm really good at it. And I've enjoyed it for over a year and a half. I've been overnight stalking at Walmart since September 5, 2023. And today is, I believe, the 1st of May, or the 2nd of May. I don't know what day it is. But today, I'm going to work early, and that's why it's still daylight, because I intend to help the frozen department sort some of their pallets at least before I'm assigned to another place that I have to work. So I'm coming in early. My coach knows about it, but it's just very sad because people are judged. They're doing their job, they're doing their best, and yet they are assumed that they're lazy and they're not doing their job. Meanwhile, there are other people who are not doing their job and they are not completing their times, and I'm finishing their work for them. My leaders know this. My leaders who work with me on the overnight shift, they know this, that they call me a bouncer because I go and I help finish up people's work, help them finish, because when the store opens, the customers come in, we need to get our pallets off the floor. We need to have things put away so we don't trip the customers and get sued. And here's the thing is, I am one of the biggest reasons that things do get completed before the customers come in and before the store manager comes in. I'm one of the biggest reasons there, just because I walk very fast. I go wherever my team leads or coaches command me to, and I do a lot of work. But the people who are higher up in charge, they don't know the work I do. And if they did know the work I do, they would probably never fire me, because they would realize that I am one of the best workers that this Walmart has ever had. But I don't think they know. I really don't think they know. And I'm recording this video to warn people. If you're considering working at Walmart and you want to consider being an overnight stalker, or somebody wants you to be an overnight stalker, as they did me, should you do it? Only you can decide. I chose to accept the job as an overnight stalker at Walmart because they were willing to give me a job. I had been unemployed for 2 months after I lost my Hy-Vee job, and I needed a job. So I took it. And I never looked back because it was the only option on the table. I had to do it. And I've done really well, and I'm proud of the work I've accomplished for Walmart. But I'm just letting you know, there could come a day when Walmart decides to fire me unfairly. They very well could. And I know it would not be my leaders who actually work with me on the overnight shift. It would be people above them who don't even know who I am and don't even know that I worked in frozen half the night. And then I helped finish up chemicals, and then I zoned the juice. Oh, and paper department too. Or they don't know about the time that I stocked an entire pallet of cereal that was old freight that never got run. They don't know any of that. Only the people who work with me know that. And I'm a good worker, I really am. But you know how it is. Rarely do people get credit for the good they actually do. And often they get blamed for things that they did not in fact do. And I just don't want it to happen again. That's all I'm going to say. Choose wisely if you ever have the chance to choose whether or not you become an overnight stalker. And in the future, As things change, I may do an updated video to this one and letting you know what happens. Maybe in a few years from now, I'll do another video and we will see. Am I still working at Walmart then? Or did something else happen? We don't know. But I do this video for the benefit of people who enjoyed my Life of a Floral Clerk video that I recorded at least 2 years ago. Because I want to help keep people informed about what's really going on.